So for example, if I have text background, I want it to be dark on this particular link. I want to use a heading font of Verdana. You guys see what I mean? So I define all this sorts of stuff, and that's what a theme is. It's a set of styles that basically introduce uniformity. Like all labeling text will be this size and this color, for example. All paragraph text that we type in a paragraph will be this size. That's a theme. So these are pre-built themes that I can actually customize, but I'm just going to choose this one, classic, and then I'm going to click apply. Now I could have clicked preview and actually seen it, but I'll click apply because unlike the real world, this is actually the class environment, and the class I'm teaching in this case is end user and how to use this. And look at that. There we go. I have just changed the site. So I'll come back real quick to my site, and now look at the different look and feel. It was that easy to be able to change the site. That's what it involves. See, that's the power of SharePoint again. That's the power of being able to allow something like this. This is why I can, if you give me 2 days, I can pretty much take, well, I've never met an end user that I couldn't train on how to build a website. In fact, there are many cases where I've seen end users turn around and actually surpass developers who've been working in the company for a long time because developers didn't know about this tool and the end users did, where end users were kicking out solutions. And I say that as someone who teaches developers, who loves to teach developers, that there are many, many cases where I've seen that just from knowing the tool. That's the significance of it. So I hope you guys really do like that. So having seen that over there now, that's our actual site over there. Now, there was one more thing too, though. Just one more thing to wrap this up. What if we wanted to change a section of the page with some sort of functionality? In other words, what if we wanted to do all that web part sort of stuff that I was telling you about later or whatever else? How could we actually use something like that? So notice over here that when I come down, I can click on page over here. So I click page, and instantly page has got some options. One of the options that page has is edit. So I click edit, and now a little edit interface comes up. First, let me show you this real quick. I can come over here and I can put welcome to my first online course, and it won't be the last, I hope. Hope you all have liked it a lot. So I can begin to change and edit the site right over here. Now, truthfully, no, I couldn't teach you how to completely make a site. I could teach you how to do logos, themes, and make changes like this. I couldn't teach you all this in 10 minutes. I could teach you, or 20 minutes. I could teach you in 2 days. But we go in this very first section right over here. So boom, that's our first section. Now I come down and look over here. These are web parts. So I can actually turn around and let me click on, for example, let me come over here and let me come over here and let me delete this web part. So I don't want to see shared documents. That's my shared documents library, which is just a document library. I don't want to see that. So I click delete. Yep, I'll delete it. There. Now I no longer have shared documents. Now let me come down and click on insert over here and come back, and now let me click web part. Now what I can do is I can add my own web part in here. So for example, instead of shared documents, maybe I want to see announcements. There's under listing libraries, and notice that all these little web parts come up and they all have functionality, things like passing things inside of forms, displaying dynamic reports and lists and all kinds of things like that, playing media. All of that is built in there. So I'm going to click on list and libraries, announcements, and let me just click add. Here we go. It starts to bring it up, and look at this now. Now what we can see is that we've got announcements instead, so whatever my newest announcements are. So now once I'm done with that, I'm going to come down to Site Actions. Taking a look over there, after I finish clicking on Site Actions, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead now and click on Site Settings. And right off the bat, notice this, it blocks me. It tells me, you need to save your changes before continuing. See, this thing is smart. It's really smart. You guys just noticed that right over there. So you guys can see it's very, very intelligent. So I click OK to save the changes now. Very, very nice. And there's my beautiful theme over there. It's actually showing up. I don't know if it's beautiful or whatever else. Now I'm going to come down and do one more thing. I'm going to click on navigation this time because I also want to. I don't want to just see the current announcements, but I also want to see announcements, that are, I don't know, I want to see other announcements. I want to see announcements also inside my menu, for example. So I click navigation. And then inside of my navigation, I have some options over here, if you guys notice. I have some big time options. One of the options that I've got is I can turn around and actually add links to different places. Everyone see that? So I can change things and begin to add links, or I can remove links over here on the side. It's that easy to remove links from the left or the right or the left or the right. Very, very handy. Let me hit cancel just for a second though. And then let me come down to the left and let's click all site content. Now the reason why I click all site content over here is because now I can see every single component of my site, including the things that don't show up over here. So this shows me even the things that are not showing up in the menus. And I come down, and I notice that there's a special list called announcements. As you guys can guess, you can guess right off the bat what announcements is for. I'm going to right click over there, and I'm just going to copy the shortcut for announcements. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also click on it and left click, and I'm going to add a quick announcement like congratulations, congratulations. And I'll put over here, tab over, when you complete the labs, you would have completed the course. And it's an honor to be your instructor. There we go. And I click save over here. Now I'm going to come back to my home page using the breadcrumb pop-up navigator. Ooh, and look, there's congratulations right over there when you've and you can see the most current announcement. So that's how you could actually update people on the recent announcements and whatever else right inside the course. And if I wanted to add something over here, I would just simply come back to I would just simply come back to site actions, go back down to site settings. There was that little navigation right over there, so I click on it. Now I come down into the navigation, and I'm going to go ahead and just click on an add link. I tell it right over here. There was another way I could have added, actually a bunch of other ways, but this will work. There we go. And I'll tell it over here, link to the announcements list. And I click OK. Now there's announcements list right over here, and you guys can see that this is the announcements list. So you guys see over here, I've just clicked on it just to show you guys. There's my announcements list right over there where I can actually see it. And now I've got announcements that's going to be available. So let me click OK. There we go, and look at that. There's the announcements list right over there. It'll appear on every single page in this case. I could have moved it down and put it in the other part too, but you guys are seeing it. All right, that's it. Thank you. Congratulations. You've gotten through the course, and you've gotten through the course with me. I will be posting many more videos, and we're going to definitely go into a lot of subjects, data building, all kinds of stuff in the future. Look forward to it, but this was the first one, and I'd like to send a special thank you to the company that worked with me so patiently as I began to put together this course and allowed me to do a first-time teach. I won't say their names because I never asked, but a very big company, a very special company, very well-known company. So I would like to thank all of you. You guys were absolutely wonderful to that company. And I hope everyone else enjoys this on the net. Goodbye.